What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about 10 different cryptos today. We're going to start with GALA. There's a couple people who requested this. Muhammad El Mensi, you requested it first, but also Eric, I Honor King Jesus, you have requested GALA as well. GALA, I don't know. I'll probably go back and forth between it. But we'll start with this. We'll move on from there and talk about XRP, MATIC, and SHIB. SHIB is a request from I Honor King Jesus, but also from jboysmith76.com. Then we're going to be talking about, after SHIB, we'll be talking about THETA for Miss User. And then for jboysmith, we'll be moving on to SNT, ADA, STORJ, STORJ, and BlueZell. And then finishing it off with VELO for Principe, we will be doing all that. Oh, and then, yeah, that's what we got going on. So I will leave timestamps, but that's the order that we're going to be going through with this. So without any further ado, let's get started, man. Let's get into this shit. So looking at it here, GALA. We are, I think we're done going lower, right? I think that's the low. We're on our way up. I feel like that's relatively easy to say. Where we are on the weekly RSI does leave room for us to go higher, but it would be really nice to get above this high here. It would be nice to maintain readings in the 60 area, or above the 60 area, I should say. Even getting into the overbought zone would really be ideal. With the current climate and conditions of the market right now, I'm a little bit skeptical as to that. We might actually get right back up in this area and reject again. But I wouldn't think that it would send us all the way to the oversold zone. I think that we'd probably find a bounce somewhere in this 50 to 40 area and then move up from there. I know that's a bunch of squiggles, but more or less that's what I'm expecting for GALA, which would imply that the price, again, could go a little bit higher, but ultimately probably see some kind of retracement. If it were to go higher, this won't be the level to measure, but from bottom to top here, your 382 is, oh man, let's see. Have you already hit it? No, you have not. Oh, did you? But did you? Oh, you kind of did, didn't you? You checked back at it right there. That quick little thing that happened a couple days ago, right? You could go higher. The volume's not really. It's building. I mean, it's not as high as this spike over here, but compared to this little lull, it is building. RSI on the daily has double bearish divergence presenting itself. If you get out of this overbought zone, I would think, yes, you probably will go lower. At least to this 382, just below 2 cents, if not more likely, probably around the 61869 area, which is down at about 1.65 to 1.56 cents, somewhere in there. And that would make sense to me too, because if we look at this for what it is, right, you've got price action going over here on the daily on a closing basis right here where this high is. I know you can't really see it, but that's where the high is. That comes right at the lower end of this like white zone, the loading zone. You do on Binance here have a gap down, don't you? Which would imply that maybe you do continue to go up more. Let's look at the 4 hour. I'll delete all these lines. Nope, that's not the lines I wanted to delete. These ones there. Looking at the RSI. Kind of neutral, not necessarily bearish. You do have lower lows in your RSI while having higher lows in your price. That's not a bad thing. This gap could get filled. You might actually go up. You have a flat base or a flat top right here with ascending lows. It's kind of a good structure. Maybe you do have one last move up before you go down, which would change the retracement levels. It would make sense. Yeah, you go up a little bit more. You're at this area that you found resistance in before. Maybe you go up, you're sitting at about 2.4 cents. Maybe you move up to 2.9 cents, a whole half a cent. Previous area of resistance, previous area of support. Yeah, that wouldn't be too crazy. I wonder if that lines up with an overall fib from this top here to bottom. It's at your like 0.5. It's a little bit above your 0.5, yeah. You could even go higher. You might go up to your 618. That would kind of be the normal expectation, but again, with the climate of things right now, I don't know if I would look for that. I would say you probably move up to 2.9, if not maybe at the highest around like 3.5 cents, something like that. From here would make sense before seeing a more significant correction. And if you were to go up there and then pull back to your 382, that wouldn't be too crazy. That might suffice. You could go all the way back to your 236 or something like that, and that would take you a little bit below 2 cents. But I would say that after you're done making this move up, you probably move somewhere around 2.3 to 1.8 cents. But first and foremost, I think you're going to go higher. I do think you go higher. Yeah, so that's all I got for GALA. Let's move on. The next thing that we're going to be talking about, I forget, what was it? Was it MATIC? It was XRP. Yes, XRP. XRP, talking about it here on Binance, sure. What a week it had. Wow, man, that is a very bullish week, right? That's a marubazoo of a week. Like no wick on the downside, no wick on the upside. It's just straight up. The marubazoo, that's a candlestick pattern, or it's not really a pattern, it's just a type of candlestick. I guess it's technically a candlestick pattern, but it's like a type. I would think you go down. I would think you go down, XRP. You're doing, kind of what I talked about the last time that we talked about it. You are marching in this zone. You have if you treat this like an outlier here, and you treat this move like an outlier here, more or less, you're kind of staying in this like range, right? Something like this. Yeah, like that. Whenever you go out of it to the upside, good time to buy. When you go out of it to the downside, good time to sell, good time to buy. And I think I did say that in my last video, that when we go up above this, that it's probably going to be a good time to get out. I might have had the line drawn differently last time. It might have been more like this. I don't remember, because I feel like last time I made it was last week and we were a little bit above it. But here we are. Let's see if we've got any fibs. I do think that we turn around, but I don't think it's going to be too dramatic. We just go back to like the bottom of this channel, right? If you had an ascending trend line there, and just keep marching our way up, probably until after the halving. We'll probably like more or less stay in this channel until after the halving, with little blips outside of it here and there. And then as we crawl closer to these high points, then we'll start to like break out for real, is what I would expect. But who knows? It might not happen like that. But let's see. I don't know, because the way I have that drawn there, that is kind of right around the halving. And I would think it probably does take that much time. I don't know, because XRP, I would think that we're going to have some kind of bullish move by the end of this year too. Oh, it's hard to say, because it looks like whenever you come down, you do like to take like a little bit more than a month for sure, Maybe XRP doesn't pump by the end of the year. I don't know. That doesn't get me too excited, man, because XRP is one of the top dogs. If it's not doing well, it's hard to see other cryptos doing well. But XRP, it could be being boring. It could be going down while other things go up. That's not unheard of. That's happened before. People will laugh at the XRP army as like their cryptos are going up, but then whenever their cryptos take a break, XRP steals the spotlight. So it's not too crazy. Let's see here. Top to low. I know I'm being a little confusing right here, but if you look again, besides the overall like kind of channel that we're in, that would make sense to reject here on the RSI, potentially rejecting out of this area over here, near the overbought zone. We are at the 61869 level. Very common level to see a rejection from or find support on. In this case, it would be resistance. So from here, I would think that we go at least to 5.8 cents, or I'm sorry, 58 cents. But more likely, we probably will go lower than that even. I don't know. If we take time, maybe we do go down here and we find support on this channel. We go a little bit below the 382, something like that wouldn't be too crazy. So all in all, for XRP, yeah, I think it looks like it's done climbing for now. It probably does go lower. That's what I gotta say. And I don't know if it'll be immediately, but we'll probably see a lot of cryptos start to shit within the next week. So that's all I got for this thing. Let's move on. Talk about another one. MATIC, Polygon, whatever you want to call it. I think they want to be called Polygon. I think that's, MATIC's just the ticker, because they merged together back in the day. It used to be MATIC. MATIC and Polygon were separate entities, or blockchains or cryptos, I forget, but now they're the same thing. They're on the same path together. Let's see, from low to high here, if you were to retrace, you'd probably see a move that takes you down around 70 cents. You're sitting at about 81 cents now. Do you move down from here? On your weekly, no, you're on your daily. The RSI does look very bullish, very constructive. You could stand to go lower. You kind of have your own ascending channel here as well. I know those aren't perfectly straight lines, but you see what I'm going for, right? But also bouncing off this oversold zone like this wouldn't be too out of the ordinary either with a strong bullish move, which I think you're in the midst of. So you absolutely could continue to go higher from here. Kind of at an area where you're like double topping, whatever. I mean, if you take this high to this low, with the way this looks, man, I would think that you're going to make a move, MATIC, soon, up to like $1 to $1.14, somewhere in there. And maybe it's not in a straight line. Maybe you pull back right now to your 75 to 70 cent area, somewhere in there, and then you take off. But by the end of the year, I do think you're going to be above there. So let's just see. Let's look at the more immediate stuff again. The daily looks good to me, man. Like being up here, you're finding support on your 786. Going up to the 1272 after this wouldn't be crazy at all. I do want to say that you're just going to continue to go up higher. Not just by the end of the year, but by the end of this month, you might be in those zones. 4-hour RSI looks really good as well. Looks like it cooled off. It was hot for a while, pretty hot, staying out of the bearish area of control and the oversold zone. You have a lower low here in the RSI while maintaining a higher low in the price. That is bullish, hidden bullish divergence, which is a good mark for continuation to the upside. Plus, you have this overall kind of like parabolic structure, right? You can see it in the moving average. This purple line, it's like overall kind of parabolic in look, and just the price itself too. So you could be getting started. I forgot, man. I didn't even notice this. I might have noticed it in a previous video, but you kind of have like this Adam and Eve pattern going on, and you're right around the point of break. And if you're going to break out, you're definitely not going to stop anytime soon. I mean, the measure move would be, I mean, depending on how you want to draw it, technically it'd be from the lowest point to the nipple there. That would give you a move all the way up. Is that new all-time highs? No, that's not new all-time highs. $1.61, and you could see that. But then, man, if you're doing that, you're in a greater kind of pattern. I'm going to delete this now, right? If you were to move above this high, you've kind of got this like W pattern as well. Just bullish on bullish stuff. And this can take more time. You know, this is the weekly, so this can take months to come into fruition. And just because you have a pattern more or less right here that could take you all the way up to these prices at about $1.60 to $1.80, I forget what it was, when you break out, that doesn't mean it has to do it immediately. In fact, with these patterns, with these Adam and Eve patterns, it's very common to break out and come back and find support at the area of break and then continue to go higher. It gives it that kind of cup and handle look as well. Adam and Eve's, the Eve part tends to have a cup and handle, but not always. But that's just from personal experience what I've seen. This might not be an Adam and Eve, but overall this does kind of look like a nice bottoming formation. So I don't think you're stopping here. All that to say, I do think you're going higher, and then from there we can talk. And where are you going to go? Probably around $1 to $1.14, I think is what I said, right? Top to bottom in the more immediate term. $1 to $1.14, yeah. $1.04 to $1.14. All right, moving on from there. I think, what are we talking about now? Shiba? Is that what it is? Yeah, Shiba. Shiba Inu. Haven't talked about Shiba in a second. Maybe not Coinbase. Let's see. Which one has the most data? Monthly chart. Let's use the weekly. Okay. Bitstamp. No. No. Where's Binance? Binance. Does it have more than Coinbase? Yes, it does. Okay, we're going to go with Binance. So, Shiba kind of looks a lot like Doge, in my opinion. Boring. Lower highs, lower lows. We're having a little bit of a move right now. I would think that it goes lower. In fact, I would even make a bold call to say that, at least as far as this chart goes, I know it's not the all-time lows for Shiba in itself. It definitely had lower prices than this at some point before it was ever on Binance. But I do think you're going to see new lows on this chart for what that's worth. Potentially. You know, the RSI is kind of neutral, but not really showing strength. You are in the bullish area of control, but you haven't been long-lived any of the times that you've been up here other than this one time here. I would think you go lower. Let's just see the relative immediate. You're right at your 61869 area, an area that would make sense to reject from. It, to me, I really would expect that it goes lower. Maybe, I don't know. Daily RSI looks really strong, actually. This one does look pretty strong. Volume's increasing as you're moving up. Good to see. The dots are being checked. You did hit your like area of your like expected zone to kind of retrace from, and you're potentially finding support on the 0.5 right here. With this kind of look, you could move higher. You absolutely could move higher. So I'll say this: if you can close above 9, it's like how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, I think. 9, 2, 4. If you can close above that on a daily, maybe you are good to go up to around this high. But will you break it? You could break it. You could break it. Maybe you go back up to around here, an area that you found resistance at a few times. Somewhere in like your area of expectations for the fib extension there. That wouldn't be too crazy. And then from there, maybe you come back down. You just stay in this kind of range, and then maybe you don't go lower. Maybe you don't go lower than these lows. Maybe you just come back down to like around this area, and then go up from there. I know I've got a lot of lines all over the place here, but anyways, I'm having a hard time deciding with this one, man. 4-hour RSI looks good. Daily RSI looks good. I want to say it's actually going to go higher from here. It's interacting with the purple line very well. Yeah, I would say you're probably going to go higher, Shiba, which would make me think Dogecoin might be going up as well. And it has been going up recently, but they seem to move together more or less. They take turns sometimes. I would think you go higher. Yeah. Maybe you go up to about 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, 1, 1, 4 zeros, 1, 2, something like that. And then you see some kind of move back. That's kind of my expectation at the moment. It looks good. So higher for now for Shiba. Anyways, moving on from there, we're going to be talking about THETA. THETA token, THETA network, THETA whatever. All right, THETA, you've got a little bit more history than Shiba here. I don't think that's the all-time history, though, is it? Where is it? I guess it is. Okay, yes, it is. Not a whole lot of volume. Do we have the USDT? This is fine, I think. Yeah, that'll be fine, because that at least has our all-time low. So we can do the USDT pair. Still not a lot of volume recently from what we've had before. From low to high here, man, I would say, I don't know. I don't like this fib, man. You don't have to go to this area, but just the way it looks, I would think you do. You might even go to your 786, kind of an area that you found some turbulence on before over here, right? From low to high, right in that 786 area. That line isn't drawn straight at all. Something like that, right? Which is down at 13 cents. You're at about $1 now. That'd be a big drop, man. That'd be a very, very big drop. But you can see that. It can have significant drops and still recover phenomenally. It's absolutely possible. Let's look at the sorry, I'm blinding you with the white screen here. Let's see. Can I turn it into dark mode? Oh, yes, we can. Wow, life just got a whole lot better, you guys. I always hated that about CoinGecko. I should have known they had a dark mode, man. This is crypto. Everybody's got a dark mode in crypto. You know, total side note here, but if you guys don't use dark mode, I think it's just nicer on the eyes, personally. Though this dark mode is rather bright for a dark mode, but anyways, that's why I like it, you know. And it looks cool. No, I don't know. Looking at the market cap here, you had about $1 billion. If you were to drop down to 13 cents, that would, man, you'd be down to about 200 million. Less than that, that'd be a significant drop, man. I don't know if this thing will see new all-time highs this cycle. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It has to remain relevant. Let's look at the, instead of looking at the more macro stuff, let's look at the more immediate stuff. So on the weekly, it does look pretty good for continuation. I would think that you do go higher. You're kind of in this area of accumulation. You're having a nice pop out. Decent volume. Not a whole lot of volume, but decent volume. On the daily, I bet we've got this. Yeah, you've got another, I guess not. It almost kind of looked like an Adam and Eve on on the weekly, but still a nice move, a breakout for sure. Ooh, that is a rather bearish signal that you might have topped right there. That is a hell of a candle right there, man. You know, you had one similar to that here, and you did go lower, but then you ended up going higher. So maybe you don't, you know, have a huge shift from here. Let's look at the weekly again, real quick. Can I don't know. 236, finding resistance at the 236, man. Have you done that before? You couldn't even make it up. Yeah, man, I don't know. I kind of think this thing goes lower. That's my opinion on Theta. Probably goes lower. The 4 hour, very bullish 4 hour, man. Wow. Looks really good. I like that. But you are testing the bottom of this. If you were to bounce, it would be here. If you don't and you break down below this, that wouldn't be good. Your move down would start now. So if you want to prove me wrong, if you want to actually continue this little run up that you're having right here, right? You want to go past this high over here. Don't go too much lower than this. At least on a 4 hour basis, you don't want to close. I would say, let's see, like if we were to draw a straight line on this, like really get it as tight as possible, something like that, you could go a little bit lower. So really what I would say is probably don't close below about like 96 cents. Don't close below there. And then it could still be on to the upside. But I think you will close below there. I think you'll go lower. And then from there, probably see a move that takes you back, let's see, back to around 75 cents to 70 cents, if not possibly where that original 77.86 retracement is, all the way down at 13 cents. I don't know. The daily and the 4 hour do look rather bullish, I gotta say, as far as the RSI goes, but the weekly has me a bit nervous. I don't know. You absolutely could go a little bit lower. You know, a lot of things, whenever they're in their accumulation zone, they broke out of their range. You're just kind of still in your range. You actually are having these lower highs come in still. Maybe you'll come down and find a lower low. You don't have to go to 13 cents. You know, there is the 61869 area before then, from bottom to top here. The only reason that I was throwing that 13 cents into play is because you have a lot of resistance back here. It's kind of like your first zone over here. But your 61869, you could find support in that area, which would be around 23 to 36 cents. Maybe you make a move down there ultimately. Hold above 96 cents. If you close below it, I think you're going down. That's really all I have to say on it. So, and I would expect probably that you are going to turn around from here. So that's Theta. Moving on from that, we will be talking about SNT for Mr. J. Boy Smith. SNT. SNT USD status or status. I don't know. One of the two. Let's see if we got the right chart on for this thing. Bittrex maybe. Oh yeah. I don't like Bittrex, but they do have a lot of historical data. I don't care if anyone from Bittrex sees this, man. I don't like you guys. I mean, maybe you've changed your shit. I don't know, but I've had a horrible experience with you guys. Not that they aren't reliable or anything like that, but I tried to set up an account with them and they put me on hold for way too long. So just not good customer service. I don't vibe with places that don't have good customer service. But they are an exchange. They are an exchange, and I believe they do have clientele that trades, but they don't have a lot because probably, you know, people try to sign up and they just can't get their shit together. Anyways, bottom to top here. Held your 61869 area, very nice. Now you're finding resistance to the 382. This is kind of classic dynamic that you would see when, I mean, you could see this with building going up. You could see this also with continuing to go down. Generally speaking, I would kind of expect that you would go lower. And with this look overall, kind of back to what we were saying with one of the first ones. What was it? Was it PLI? Might have been PLI. Where you're grinding this area, I would think that you find support at your 786, 886 area, which kind of comes in with these lows over here. Your 786 itself is actually like right in line with this low over here, so that would be right around 1.24 cents, something like that. Maybe a move down there. Will you do that? You're coming out of your overbought zone right now. Not a good look necessarily. Let's look at the more immediate fib too, though. From bottom to top, If you can hold prices above 4 cents, really like, yeah, you just hold it above 4 cents, then there's hope. At least on a weekly and a daily perspective. If it's a 4 hour and it closes below that, that's okay. But on a weekly and a daily, if you can hold above this 382 here, there's hope that you'll continue to go higher. But if not, I would think that you go lower than this. And again, probably down to these lows around 1.3 cents, 1.4 cents, maybe even below a cent is totally possible. But let's just see the more immediate stuff. Daily RSI, man, this thing looks whack. Oh, it's because we're on Bittrex. Let's go to a more voluminous exchange, like Coinbase. Yeah, there we go. Still looks weird on the RSI. Rather constructive, not bad. Get below this 50, kind of break out of this ascending channel look that you have, and that would commence a downside drop. And if you were to go below 4 cents, that would probably happen. So, yeah. At the moment, it kind of looks like a bull flag, doesn't it? Kind of looks like a bull flag. Not a bad thing, man. But you know, you can still form like this and break to the downside. It's absolutely possible. Common too, but it's just as common as well to like go to the upside. I think bull flags are like, I think they're like a 60% likelihood that you continue in the direction. So there's like a 40% chance you go. Maybe it's 70%. I forget what it is, but there's still a decent chance that you don't have to continue upwards. You could reject it. So all the rambling to say. Ooh, what are we doing here? 4 hour looks kind of resilient, man. Looks kind of good. The 4 hour on a lot of these charts is kind of the saving grace. I don't know what to think about this one. I want to say it goes lower. But don't hold me to it. Don't hold me too much to it. Low or high to low here. Yeah, probably lower. That's what I'm thinking. Probably lower. And where are you going to go? Again, you're going to go, if I can get it all the way back, somewhere around, I would say, this zone here, around 1.4 to 1.3 cents. From bottom to top, your 1272 is right there. From bottom to top here, I think that's like your 786 extension, right? Because here's your 61869 area. You are rejecting your 382 right now, right there, 382 over here, all the way over here. I know it's blurry, but I'll delete this now. Just remember this 1272 lines up with that 786, which also lines up with this previous low down over here. And you've grinded out this sweet spot, the golden ratio zone. Grinded it out, found resistance at the 382, common maneuver to see a deeper retracement, but with the way that you held price around here, I wouldn't expect that you see extensions. So probably lower, and then from there we can talk about prices going higher. But that's all I got for this thing for status. I think it goes lower is my genuine opinion. And that could start anywhere from like this week. It could happen within like by the end of the month, something like that. But that's my expectations for this. Moving on, talking about ADA. Cardano, man. I don't think I've talked about Cardano too much on this channel. I don't have any problems with Cardano. You know, I'm not going to invest in it personally. Does it do well in this coming cycle? I bet it does, but I think there's other things that'll do better probably, right? You were down here at about 1.8 cents and you moved all the way up to $3. Like, I don't think you're going to see a move like that again personally, but let's see. Cardano looks good. Weekly RSI looks really nice, strong, very constructive. I do think that's the low. I don't think you go lower than that. You're in this kind of area of accumulation, right? Right here, you're like in your little box, and you're coming toward the top of it. Where I have these lines drawn isn't really appropriate. It's more actually like probably like really it's like this, and you kind of had a little breakout above it. You're at the like near the top area of the zone, so I would expect maybe you see some kind of a pullback. Let's draw some fibs and get an idea real quick. Top to bottom. Oh yeah, look at that shit, man. I don't know. With this look on the weekly, I would think that you could actually go up to your 556 area, if not maybe even up to 62 or 73 cent area. And that could kind of make sense. You know, I know I was talking about this zone as your like accumulation zone, but maybe this is included in that. And that, you know, if you throw this on, you throw your extensions on, you can see that that lines up with like the top area of this as well. So maybe you do something like that. Very bullish RSI on the weekly. Very bullish RSI on the daily. Man, you broke above your 618 on the first pass and you found support on it and continued forward. I think you go higher. I think you probably go to this 1272 to 1618 area. Yeah, that doesn't look bad at all. It looks pretty damn good. I'll be right back. My computer is dying. I got to grab the charger. I will be all right. I'm back. Sorry, guys. This is a long one. You know, it's just literally. Oh damn. I've got the box. I've got the wrong cord. All right, I'm back. Got the right cord this time. Sorry. We use this box for various things sometimes. This is the computer box, but my fiance likes to use it for her phone. But anyways, enough about my personal life. Where was I? I think it goes higher. Overall, it looks good. Looks good to me. RSI looks good. Yes, you do have bearish divergence presenting itself. Maybe you take a little move down right now, but you might have seen the extent of this. You might actually be making a move right now up to, you're at 38 cents, maybe you move up to 42 cents, or you really could be getting ready to make a move all the way up to about 56 to 73 cents, somewhere in that area. And that's a pretty big range, I know, but with the way this looks on the fib scale, man, it looks pretty convincing to me. Very strong looking RSI. The one thing that has me a little concerned is you are not building volume as you're building price. I don't necessarily like that, but let's just see. If I was to be wrong on this, if you weren't to go higher from here, close below about 35 cents there. If you can close below 35 cents, then you probably will see a more major retracement. Not major, but just like a normal retracement to, well, hey, look at that. 35 cents, maybe down to like 32 cents, if not even down to like 28, 29 cents, something like that. Yeah, so that's all I got for ADA. I think it goes higher. I really do think it goes higher, and it probably goes to like the top area of this like little price range over here. Actually, is what I'm kind of thinking. Like you go above this high, but you probably don't go above these highs here, but somewhere in this area, between about what, like 50 to 70 cents is what I said, something like that. Yeah. So anyways, that's ADA. ADA's looking pretty good. Not gonna lie, looking pretty good. STORJ. That's one that I want to get into, man. STORJ. That's not the all-time history, is it? Do we have? Sure, KuCoin might be. No, KuCoin's not the one. It's on Coinbase too, isn't it? Let's do the USD. There we go. More history for sure. So very nice move this week. Up 69% right now. 75.74 cents is the price. On the daily, we've been kind of staggered since, you know, these couple days of dramatic price movements. You know, this happens because you're ready to pop, you popped, and now you've got your people FOMOing up at the top, and the people who are down here are taking profits and selling into those people. And you know, there's probably not a whole lot of people who are going to buy late to the game. I mean, there's probably a decent amount that bought up here. You know, you can see the volume, but I would bet there's more people who have bought before this and are probably in a take profit area, which would make sense to me. Let's see, top to, that's not the top. Top to bottom. Wow. Deep extension. All the way up to your 2272. You might be finding support on your 1618. That does look kind of good. Hot on the RSI. Very, very hot on the RSI. You haven't been up here too much, have you? Let's look at the weekly. Not bad. It's pretty damn hot. Yeah, I wonder what you've done each time. Let's see. I'm going to blow this up a little bit. Let's see here. So whenever you're up here near your top and you gave it all back up here, you did continue to go higher, but you formed bearish divergence, right? Up here, you had a pretty sizable pullback. You didn't give it all back. I mean, eventually you did, but 36% pullback. Where'd you pull back to on your fib scale? From low to high here. I'm just doing it roughly to kind of speed through this. Come on. This is taking a second, though. It's like it wants to, there we go. Right at your 382, nice, man. And then you continue to go higher, classic. Up here, right at the top, big move down. Over here, right at the top, big move down. Up here, not right at the top, but you still did have, it doesn't look big, but you still did have some kind of a significant pullback here. How big was that? From top to bottom, 36% again in that 30 mid-range. And then we keep moving on. Maybe like right here, right? This was kind of an exception, a little bit of a different move here. Very resilient in your overbought zone though. And then here, up and then down, of course. Maybe we do see a move like that. I don't know. I feel like this looks. You could see a move, man, that gives all this back. Sure, maybe move to 50 cents, but you might not. There is hope. There's definitely hope that you could be holding your relative 382, which from low to high here would be, I think it was 32 cents. Am I correct? No, 65 cents actually. 65 cents. There is hope that you could hold that. Maybe wick a little bit below it to the area that you found resistance before. Maybe you go to your 0.5. You could go all the way down to your 618. Oh, it's hard to say. I don't know. The more I look at this, man, the more I'm thinking it probably does go down to about 47 to 51 cents, somewhere in there. I know that it took me a while to get there. I was kind of like searching for most of this. But I think that to me makes a little bit of sense. Let's see. Top to bottom again. Yeah, check back at your 382, 58 cents there. You could wick a little bit below that, and then from bottom to top here, 382 is at 52 cents. Yeah, really probably somewhere around that 50 cent area is what I would expect. Probably see a pullback. Weekly RSI does look pretty decent. Daily RSI is very hot. Probably needs to take a break. 4 hour was hot. Now it's cooling off. If you were to prove me wrong, if you were to move higher, you would not want to close below about 68 cents. If you close below there, really it's about like 68 and a half, 68, I don't know, maybe 68 cents on the dot. Let's see, actually. What is that? 68.3 cents technically. Though I think it would start to look pretty condemning even if you close below this low. But on a 4 hour basis, if you close below about 68 cents, you might see a move that takes you down toward 50 cents, that area. That's all I got for storage. I do think it's going to do very bullish things. I think it's going to go tremendously higher, right? It's sitting at about 76 cents now. If it moves down to 50 cents, these highs are all the way up at about $4, and I don't think you're going to stop there. I think you're going to see some pretty stupendous moves for this thing. But maybe not yet. Maybe not yet. You know, you're moving up. You formed your higher high. Come down, form your higher low, and then build from there. Give people like me an opportunity to invest in this, and then I will never sell you until 2025. That's all I got for this one. So moving on to the next one, Moving on to the next one. Blue Zell. Oh, yeah. I think Blue Zell and STORJ, they kind of look similar. I mean, they don't, but like they do at the same time. I don't know. Like this part of Blue Zell right here, to me, it just looks very similar to like this part of STORJ, but STORJ hasn't pumped as much as Blue Zell. Anyways, BLZ, USD, maybe on Binance actually. Sitting at about 24.7 cents. You guys know what my stance is on this if you've been watching my videos lately. I think that it's going lower. I do think, you know, we're going to go below 24 cents. I actually meant to, I said it in the Discord, but I haven't made a video saying this yet. But if you guys have stuck around for this, I have bought Blue Zell. I got my first buy order in at 24 cents on the dot. Right on these little wicks down here, you know, it went just a little bit below 24 cents. It wasn't like a big, I mean, it was, you know, it was a little bit of money for sure, but it's not like, it wasn't most of my position for Blue Zell. I still have predominantly cash sitting on the side waiting to get in on this thing. I have a very big buy order at 20 cents, and then I have another kind of small, a couple small orders layered but below 20 cents, but I might actually just condense that into one order itself. But long story short, I do think it's going to go toward 20 cents. I just wanted to say that I have bought Blue Zell now, definitely. You've got from this relative low to high here, your 382 is at 22.2 cents. Blue Zell loves its 382. With this look, I would expect that you would at least go here at a minimum. But you could go down to your 618, which is all the way down at about 17 to 15.5 cents. If we take the overall fib, we look at this thing on the weekly, from bottom here to top. That wasn't the bottom. Come on now, man. That's at about 15 cents. We could go down that low, but you don't have to. Maybe this would be a better low to take. It's around 16 cents. I don't know. We could go that low. It wouldn't be too crazy at all, honestly. And then also you have this bearish divergence on your weekly, which I think within the next 17 hours, you know, assuming that we don't get an 11% pump in the next 17 hours to close out the week, we will have bearish divergence confirmed on this chart, or maybe I should say officially printed. It's not necessarily confirmed, but I would think that it would be. This kind of look right here would at least send us back to the weekly closing high here, which is at 17.8 cents, so just below 18 cents. So to go a little bit below that and hit this overall 382 wouldn't be too crazy. I don't think it'd be too crazy. So I am expecting that we do see prices below 20 cents, above 15 cents, but I am not going to be playing that game with Blue Zell. I'm not going to wait for the lows. I'm just going to be buying predominantly around 20 cents and call it good from there. You know, I think the lowest I would buy is probably 18 cents itself. So, but I do think it goes lower than that. I genuinely do believe that, but I'm not playing the game with it, man. Because I've thought it was going to go lower than this. I thought it was going to go lower than this, and it never did. So however low I think it's going to go now, I think I'm overdue to be right, but I'm not playing that game with it. I'm going to be buying, you know, the lowest is going to be 18 cents, right where this divergence formed. So that's Blue Zell. Let's move on from there. I think it's going down, long story short. I think the move up, it was nice from top to bottom here. Tipped your 1618, now you're moving down. Your 886, by the way, a very common place to retrace to is right around 20 cents. And going to your 618 would be right around 17 cents to 18 cents as well. So to finish it up, to finish this video up, we're going to be talking about VELO for Principe, VELO USDT on KuCoin. I'm going to shrink this because this is just so big right now. Looking good. Looking good, man. Yeah, I like this actually. I really do like this. It looks like you look like you're ready to pop, to have like a nice move up. And maybe it's this big, maybe it's bigger, maybe it's less high than this over here. This looks really good. Come on now, man. There we go. Trying to get into your bearish area of control, but rejecting it. You're bouncing off your 40 area like a bunch of times, and you're having a very positive reaction out of it. After being weak for so long, you're starting to show some strength and actually like hold to that. You've got volume coming in. You're up a little bit this week. Nothing to really to brag about, but nothing to be sad about. 20%'s nice, man. I'd love to make 20% in a week on anything. From bottom to top here, held your 618 area. Nice to see. Beautiful. Top to bottom here. Yeah. you're going higher. I think you're going higher. Daily RSI looks really nice, really nice. You do have a double top at the moment. It does look like bearish divergence, but to be fair, you kind of actually played out your move. Your wick went right to where that divergence formed. You're bouncing off your 786 here, where previously you bounced off your 6.9. Now you're bouncing off the 786. I think you're going to make a move that takes you up. You're sitting at about 0.3 cents right now, probably up to 0.38 cents, if not 0.45 cents, somewhere around there. Yeah. Looks good, if not higher. If not, you might see a deeper extension with this. Let's see, from top to bottom here. I mean, yeah, man, that would make sense. That would make sense. Top to bottom on this relative extension, your 1272 comes in line with the 382. Your 1618 is a little bit above that. Deep extensions at the 0.5. Sure, you could see a 2414 extension all the way at your 618. That might take more time. For what it's worth, I do think you go probably around that 0.4 cent area, maybe just below that, you know. I think you're still in this area. You're getting ready to break it, but maybe you're held down by like this previous top over here. Come back down to form a higher low on like these like weekly closing highs, and then boom, and then you have your breakout, something like that. But I think it goes higher. I think it goes higher from here. That's really all I have to say mainly about this thing. The volume looks good. The RSIs look good. I wonder what the 4-hour looks like. 4-hour RSI looks good as well. Hot, and it cooled down. Lower low with higher lows. Looks good. Building volume as you're moving up. I like it. I really do like it. Nice structure in the price as well. And just overall, again, on this weekly, man, to me, it just looks like it's wounded. You know, it's wound up and it's ready to go. And ultimately, you know, again, I'm calling for a price that'll move around 4 cents just below that in the immediate term. But I think you are right now formulating something that's going to take you overall above this, and you know, ultimately to like 2.7 cents, maybe 5.8 cents. I said 4 cents. I meant 0.4 cents is where you're going to go down here. But anyways, you're probably going to see a move that takes you up very soon to a high that's above this. Probably by the end of the year, if I really had to guess. I would think you're going to be at like near 3 cents, if not near 5 cents by the end of this year. That would be my expectation. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thank you all for the requests. Thank you all for staying, bearing with me. I know I had a moment there where I had to find my charger and things were on mute for a second, but yeah. I hope everyone enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button. Likes are always appreciated. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content, and I will see you guys on the next one. Also, you know, if you're still here, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Is this okay? Are you okay with videos where I kind of condense 10 different coins, 8 different coins, however many coins? You know, the requests are piling up. I don't want to make 10 videos in a day. It would take more or less the same time as doing this, but I don't want to put out 10 videos, you know. I would rather just like put out one with all this content in it, but I'd like to hear from you guys. What do you think? Do you think, is this okay, or do you like it better when they're individual videos? Let me know in the comment section. Anyways, take care. Bye-bye.